Hey guys, so I want to take you through my viewing experience. I load up Twitch, I see someone with 6K viewers in Nax, and obviously I'm going to watch them. Turns out it's SoD though. And I just want to talk a little bit about SoD. I haven't played it since the first phase, as many other people, and I don't want to be too negative, but I just want to talk about the cringiness that I'm seeing in front of me and why I just am not interested in this game mode. And maybe you feel the same way. Maybe you know more about this game mode than I do, and feel free to tell me if anything that I'm saying is wrong. But it just kind of shocked me how unprepared these guys are. They don't really know much about this instance. They burn Mograine to start. That's not correct. You're supposed to burn Thane first typically. Some groups will do like cleave where you kill two at once, but typically you always focus Mograine in the other corner and Thane in this corner where they're fighting right now. So on this attempt, they were able to get down Mograine, but then they just kind of fall apart here. So yeah, they wipe to Thane, and they lose their world buffs. CG, Songflower, DMF. I don't know what some of these other things are, but I'm pretty sure they're actually like a world buff. But now here's the thing. They die, they wipe, they get back in the instance, they have full world buffs again. So I wanted to do some research. I was like, what the heck? How did they get him back so fast? I look up world buffs of SoD. It hasn't been updated in 5 months. They're still back in phase 5 when ZG was coming out. So Wowhead clearly doesn't care. I had to go to Reddit. Fortunately, Reddit had the answers for me. There's this vendor that you can buy an item from, and when you click that item, everyone in your raid group gets the world buff. So allegedly, it's like 600 rune cloth or yada yada yada. I don't know exactly, but the key is that it's not very impactful, right? So if people are just constantly having this item that they can get world buffs from again, it doesn't really matter if you wipe. Like sure, it consumes or whatever, but it just feels really weird to me to see world buffs like this. It doesn't that's not world buffs. That's just raid buffs. So yeah, I guess world buffs really are no longer a thing in this game mode. Kind of cringe. They really kind of lauded that as being a cool part of Phase 1 SoD, where there was like the one world buff that you could get in Darnassus. And from then, I guess there's just so many now that if anyone wants to play the game, they don't want to get world buffs. So just kind of weird. But yeah, so they wiped that first time. They kill Thane this time correctly in this corner, and then here they're just going to again fall apart really quickly. I don't really get it how they fell apart so quickly here. Because it's okay, so I guess that extra. I don't really get how he got hit so hard here. He gets hit by 6K for something. Yeah, like everyone does. Everyone just got Giga owned by something there. So I don't really understand what that mechanic was. If anyone has any insights into why everyone just like ticks down here from that certain spell, I don't get it, but they wipe. No one really ever explained what happened there, so I don't know. I don't think there's any additional mechanics of Four Horsemen from my understanding if you're doing it just this normal mode. So that's something else to mention now is that there's like these hard modes. Um, I was looking into this streamer here, Kago Gaming. He's got a ton of really good informative videos on SoD, on how it works, and it's just really weird. So he talks about the meta of clearing Nax in this one video, and basically what they do is like there's these nodes that you can activate and they make each wing harder. So you just don't activate them and you kill the trash and then you go back and you activate them. Which to me kind of totally defeats the purpose. You can activate them all and then it becomes harder, or you can activate three and you activate the three of the wing that you're not doing, and then you activate the other three, you do a wing, and then you go activate that one after you do the wing. Um, Watch this meta clear if you're curious more on that. It's interesting, but now at this point in the content cycle, this cheese doesn't really matter as much because of the gear progression. So now this is the next element of the SoD Nax. There is this Seal of the Dawn, and it's the stacking consumable that you can get that will upgrade your items, and you can only upgrade so much per week. So it's like, you know, a week by week thing. You get stronger and stronger because you're killing things that then make you stronger, which is kind of cool. Originally, there was going to be up to 10, but there was controversy. Blizzard just randomly decided, okay, we're going to cap it at 7. And they decided one day before the next one was going to come out. So everyone that had been gathering those resources to get ready for that next rank, they just got screwed. Um, and Blizzard's like, oh, well, you can just trade those resources to another character. It's like, well, okay, but this is just weird. I don't know. I think it's really weird. The amount of increase that you're getting from these um, Seal of the Dawn is pretty incredible. When I was watching Pika's raid, there's this one warlock that is just absolutely dunking everyone in damage. And it's not like he's doing this super complex rotation or anything. The tier set in Nax is just broken. You Once you get that 6 set of tier, your damage is gonna like double or triple, which is what you're seeing here with this backlot bang warlock. He's literally just pressing Curse of Agony, and Curse of Agony alone is doing more than 80% of the raid. It's really, really strange. And we'll just show an example of that again. So he's doing 9k, everyone else is doing no more than 4k. It's just weird to see that amount of a discrepancy. And the thing is, this other warlock, as soon as he gets the 6 piece, he's going to do that same amount. The amount of progression that happens in Nax because of this one thing is just kind of crazy, and I think devalues a lot. It makes those previous weeks just feel pointless and worthless. And once you get to that point of having this maximum power, this other stuff just becomes so boring. Like, why would anyone ever want to do the normal mode? I guess you get more loot from the hard mode, but it kind of ruins the whole point of speed running, right? Like, do speedrunners want to be in the hardest possible setting, or were they supposed to be on the easiest possible setting? It doesn't seem like anyone is really caring about the more competitive aspect of the game now. There's no one really caring. It's just a really casual environment, which I guess is kind of cool, right? But just not really for me. So what's not for me too is boss fights like this where it doesn't really matter if you die. Typically, Saffron and KT are fights where if one or two people die, it really matters. You look at those people that die and you're like, man, we needed you. Why did that happen? And then you watch a Saf like this, and it is just totally pointless. What do I mean by that? Well, look what happens during the first air phase. So some people are just randomly dying. This frost breath happens, and more people are going to die. So they've lost like a quarter of their raid now, and it just doesn't matter. If you watch the resources on the healers for this, no one ever goes No one else really dies besides one-shot mechanics, which no one should ever really die from, right? Just get behind a block. Look at how much damage this Warlock is doing. His Curse of Agony is doing more damage than Beekaboo doing his entire rotation. He's doing as much damage as a Hunter just with one spell. And again, like, normally, if you have half your raid dead when the boss is at 40%, 50% like this, it's not going to be a good time. You're not going to kill Saf, but in this, it just doesn't really matter. And then watching the KT, it's kind of the same. They don't understand the mechanics at all, and it just doesn't matter. Watch the Frost Blasts. Every group gets hit over and over, and they just heal through it. At the start, 4 of them stand in a void zone and die. it just feels very retail-y to me. Um, People just kind of going into a raid, clearing a raid, get your participation points. So they did actually wipe this time. They weren't able to kill it. But again, we're going to watch the next time here, and it's just going to be really easy. Again, they have no clue with positioning. It's just kind of all zug, zug, zug. Everyone's getting hit with Frost Blast over and over and over. It just doesn't really matter. Very strange. Look, everyone gets hit by Frost Blast, but it's no one dies. Actually, okay, a couple of people did die there, but still, it's that's supposed to end a kill, and you're not supposed to have world buffs after you wipe. But none of that really matters in SoD, so I won't rant about this too long. But it was just interesting to watch this couple videos here. Is SoD an epic fail? And obviously, this Kago Gamer guy, he is balls deep into SoD, so he's having some huge cope about no, it's not dead. It's a good game. It's not a fail. And I wouldn't say it's dead. Like if you look at the amount of people that are clearing SoD Nax still, it's happening often. It's a game mode that has players, but I don't know. It's just one of those things that it doesn't look fun to watch. I'm not enjoying the experience. Um, I was shocked to see that Peekaboo had so many viewers. Maybe this is going to come across as me just having a really negative video, but for the things that I mentioned, as far as world buffs being meaningless, tier gear having such a big power spike, the way that the progression of Seal of the Dawn works in Nax, those sort of things to me just are really lame. So I'm curious to see if the next phase is as lame when it's like new content, right? This is the first upcoming time here. 1 week from now, a little bit over a week from now, they're going to release the Scarlet Crusade raid. So curious to see how that goes. But yeah, again, just kind of curious your thoughts. If you think that I'm way off, if you think it's the best thing ever, I'm a hater. Are you a hater? Let me know. Thanks, guys.